You are now listening to the Do It Movement podcast, where we share our experiences in real estate investing and encourage you to take action. You don't want to miss what we have in store today, so let's welcome our host, Martine Richardson, and our co-host, Eubanks.
What's up, Do It Movement listeners? This is your host, Martine Richardson, your rental property coach. I am joined today with my co-host, Eubanks, and the Jen Way. How are you doing today, Jen?
I'm so good. How are you ladies doing today?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Yes. We're so excited for you to join us and share your wisdom and your journey. I know you're going to inspire a lot of people today and, really get us thinking in a different way. We're very honored. Tell us, what do you do and when did you get started on this path?
Well, Lori, I would be derelict in my duties if I didn't make a pun off of what you just said. You said that you hope I'm here to show you all a different way. I'm here to show you the Jen way, as a matter of fact.
Ooh, I love it.
I am a real estate sales coach, and I teach people how to ditch their scripts, have real conversations, and convert at their highest rates. Because when you truly connect with people and figure out what's going on with them and how you can help them, that's actually how you make the most money in real estate. So teach people how to have better conversations.
Oh, I love that. Well, I think you're probably going to be able to help me out today.
Hopefully.
Yes. Well, and so when did you venture into that, into real estate and also into coaching? Was it kind of all around the same time?
Oh, no. I was a little late to the coaching game. I can tell you that if I had known that I could have the kind of impact in coaching, I would have started way sooner. And I've been in real estate for a little over 10 years. I've been in sales for a long time. I'm not going to tell you that number because I don't want anybody to try and calculate my age. I've been in sales for a long time. Got into real estate actually right after the big crash in 2008. Well, it started off as a licensed real estate agent, driving people to 27.3 houses before they actually decided to buy one. Hated it. Met an investor, fell in love, joined the dark side. So I've been wholesaling and flipping houses and doing all that for more than 10 years now.
What?
Sales coaching for me has been the last 2.5 years. The business that I was working with, the owner decided that it was time to get closer to family and kind of make some changes, which I fully supported. He was up here in Colorado, but his parents and his wife's parents and brother moved back down to Florida, which meant the Colorado part of the business was going to dwindle. And so I pivoted over to coaching and haven't turned back since.
That's amazing. Oh, 10 years and then finding coaching. I love that you were able to make that pivot. I'm sure you learned a whole lot along the way. With coaching, has that given you, you said operating in your purpose, right? Has that given you, that's when you started making more money in the coaching side versus all the real estate that you mentioned?
Listen, I wish I could sit here and tell you that I'm just a millionaire off coaching. No, just like everybody who starts a new business, you have to find your footing, right? So I'm not going to tell you that I made more money or that I'm making more money in coaching than I did in real estate, because honestly, we did really, really well. But coaching is giving me a whole new set of fulfillment that has nothing to do with money, right? Being able to just give the information that's in my head, just give it to somebody else and watch them work towards their version of success. I mean, I don't know that there's anything better in the world.
I love that. And I'm not going to speak for Martine, but I've heard similar things from other coaches. When you see people grow, that gives you back more than that. It gives you a fulfillment. So you're now in coaching. What does your typical time look like? Are you, do you feel like it's been, in real estate, I think about like you're hustling with flips and different things. Of course, rentals are a little different, but with coaching, how does your week look?
I try to focus the majority of my time on working with my students. So my program is not a play a bunch of videos in your office by yourself and hopefully you understand. My program is actually live in-person teaching We do it together. My boot camp comes with one-on-ones. So I'm, hour-long face-to-face sessions, just like right now. Majority of my time is spent doing that, actually. I'm not a big believer in pushing everything directly to technology.
Mm.
I firmly believe that relationships and networking and actually being here face to face, and it gives us the ability to practice it. That's a big one, right? When it comes to sales, if you're not practicing it and getting feedback, then you're just not going to get better. So the majority of my time is actually spent talking to my students, working with them and teaching them everything that I know so that they can go out and get more contracts.
I love that you mentioned technology, and relationships over that, especially with all the AI and all of the things that are changing. I feel like we are definitely getting AI, driven in a way. How have you seen that impact, other industries?
Well, I don't know that I can really talk about how it's impacting like other industries,
Yeah.
but for real estate, I can tell you firmly, I'm watching everybody. Oh, shiny object, right? Everybody's like, I gotta get it, right? This looks fancy, so I'm gonna pay people for it. And I am throwing a caution flag up as often as I can for people. All right. The fact is, technology can be useful in a lot of ways. It's an incredible support tool. And if I sit here and tell you that I don't think AI is useful, then I'm lying, because I'm using it to perfect my own copy for my website and the emails that I send, and, bouncing ideas back and forth to really hone in on the offer that I make for my coaching, right? So it's very useful in a lot of ways. But what I fear is that people have been driven over the last 20 years to be comfortable with electronic communication. And so I fear that a lot of these people are going to push too much of their sales process into AI and stop being personable, stop being humans, right? Stop connecting with people. So extremely valuable tool. And listen, maybe someday they're going to create an AI salesperson that I have at least a little respect for, but that day is not today. Okay. Those AI salespeople are not going to be able to pick up the nuances. Not yet. Maybe someday. So, what I've seen, and I've worked with quite a few people who have some of these very expensive products. What I've seen is that these AI employees are great at disqualifying the people who were always going to say no, and getting the people who are always going to say yes, they get them to say yes for you. Okay. But everybody in the middle is where the problem is, because everybody in the middle is who you actually have to connect with, who you actually have to build rapport, ask them what their problem is, figure out if you're the solution. Everybody in the middle is the problem. Being a human on the phone and just talking to people, that's how you get those leads to say yes. I've been doing this too long. I know the answer. You talk to them. You be a human. You find out if the things you are going to actually help them. And these AI employees, they just can't do it. I mean, even when I talk about it, I just do robot hands. That's that's how sure I am that everybody talking to them knows they're talking to a robot. And you know what's really funny? I asked ChatGPT if it was going to replace me, specifically in real estate sales. Okay, not just no general question here, right? And it said no.
Even AI knows.
Let them know.
Even AI knows they are never going to replace me. The explanation? Because real estate sales is heavy on the relationship building, and a computer's never going to be able to do it as well as a human. That was the exact explanation that it gave me.
I love it. I love it. So right now it seems like, AI isn't where it needs to be to replace us in sales. Hopefully it'll stay that way. But Jen, give us the goods. The people that are listening, this is the Do It Movement podcast, People are listening, they say, hey, I hate sales. I suck. I want to get better because I need more deals. Walk us through that process. What does that look like?
Well, first and foremost, guys, stop putting yourself in a box with a script. If you are just a 1 or 2 person company, stop answering the phone like you're a giant corporate office. Instead, I want you to lean in to who you actually are, right? We're going to be the most version of ourselves now because you are instantly set apart if you just answer the phone like a human now. That's all you have to do to set yourself apart from everybody else. Just ask people how their day's going, right? Hey, this is Jen. That's how I answer the phone. Not, hey, hello, thank you for calling Sales of Jen Way. My name is Jen. How can I help you? No. Okay. Hello, this is Jen. They tell you who they are. You start unpacking the situation. That's it. Okay. Be more casual. Stop feeling like you have to read these scripts exactly how they are. All right. Kick it 90s style, right? We're kicking it old school. How about you just have a conversation with them? No more Wolf of Wall Street. Okay. Just be somebody on the phone trying to figure out what's going on. And in the event that you're not the right person for them, start really telling people that, right? You're not just trying to sell every single person who calls. You're trying to find the people who are right for you.
Right.
So reframe that to, it's time to, I'm in sales. No, I'm in solution providing time. I'm in find the problem time, help the person out time. That's why we're here.
Right, right. So let's say, you're talking to someone. It sounds like your sales is more inbound, like people are calling you. You're not calling them. Is that correct?
I mean, it can be used both ways.
Okay.
In most scenarios, I absolutely agree or think that inbound leads are going to just be better quality leads, though, right? Like we all know this.
Right.
If you have that direct mail going consistently, then you can get a consistent flow of calls coming to you. And those are just better quality leads.
Right. So let's say someone calls you, they have a situation where they need to sell their property, but they're feeling a little guarded. Like they don't want to open up completely. What are some things that like you say or you ask people to like get them to open up a little bit more to you so you can really see if you can help them?
Oh, Martine, thank you for asking this one.
Yes. Yes.
Guys, this is actually pretty simple. Give them permission to tell you no, okay? Because here's the fact. Every single person you hop on the phone with is going to think that you're on the scale of scam somewhere, okay? You're somewhere on it. Whether or not you're full scam or light scam, you're on the scale, okay?
Right.
So there is a brick wall between you and your lead every single time. You called them, they called you, doesn't matter. There's a brick wall. Now, old school New York City used car salesman, their style is to blast through it like the Kool-Aid man, right? Just straight through the brick wall. It doesn't work. What you need to do is give people on the other side of that brick wall the desire to take the bricks down. Okay? They have to pull these bricks down. And the easiest way to do it is to tell people that it's okay to tell you no. Because no is the most feared word on every sales call. For the salesperson, for sure, it's the most feared word, right? So go ahead and say it first. Get it out of the way, all right? Because once no gets said, the pressure of the call essentially disappears. Hey, Mr. Seller. Hey, Mrs. Seller, listen, I buy a lot of property, okay? And I'd like to talk to you and see if I'm going to be the right buyer for you because I'm not the right buyer for every single person. So we need to figure out what's going on. If I'm the right fit, awesome. I'm going to be able to help you out. But if I'm not, and the things I'm telling you that I can do and that I can provide, if you don't want that or need that at all, tell me no. Just give them permission to tell you no.
That's so good.
It's definitely one of the game changers. If you're listening to this podcast and you do nothing else that I've talked about here today, do that. Just do that one.
That because people, when they're making offers, we're trying to get the best deal, right? We want to help people, but we have to get paid to help people because if we're not getting paid, we're not going to be doing this a long time. Like that's just the reality of the situation. So a lot of people, they have a lot of trouble giving lower offers because they're afraid of hearing no. I'm like, all the person is going to tell you is no. Like, you're not going to die.
Right. But did you die?
No, you're not going to die if somebody tells you no. So that's key, giving them that permission so that now, okay, we got that out of the way. Now, I heard you mention about being solution oriented and like letting people know, like, I guess there are different solutions, even if they, you're not the person. When you're talking to a seller, what are some solutions that you often give them to say, well, maybe I'm not the right person, but maybe this person will be the right fit, or just other solutions that you would often give somebody when you're talking to them?
Well, I I want to touch on one quick thing first, so
Mm-hmm.
that guys, if you're listening, the solutions that you offer to people, they need to actually be the right things that people need, right? If somebody comes to, let's just say I'm selling cars, and you tell me that you live in a rural community and that you do a lot of like picking up materials or yard work or farm work or whatever, I'm not selling you a Honda Civic. I got to sell you a truck, right? Like, and I shouldn't care as the salesperson which one I'm making more money off of. I should care about it being the thing that you need. Okay. So what this means is that everything that we offer to these leads as solutions, they need to be solutions for them. We're not certain if we're not brutally honest with them, right? We're not giving people an offer that's too high because you were afraid they were going to say no because you went lower. That's not serving your client. That's not helping them. All it's doing is giving them false hope for the next 21 days until you have to call and tell them you couldn't get the deal assigned. So it all starts in the fact that you have to understand that you're here to serve them. And you're not serving them at a good capacity by just telling them the price that they want. You have to tell them the price that's actually going to work. Okay? You have to be honest with that. So a lot of people call that lowballing. I call that serving them at my highest order. That's what that is. Okay? That is me being brutally and painfully transparent so that I'm not giving false hope. So some of the options. Oh, there's so many. Hopefully we're not too close to time. Obviously, right? We're real estate investors, cash offers. Seller financing. Will they let me make a down payment and then make payments over time? Can I do a novation? Can I do a sub 2? When it comes to land, can we maybe work out a deal where the seller doesn't get paid until after I put a house on it? Right? They come in as a partner.
So
Then there's a whole.
Just to interject really quickly, because some people may not know the terms you're saying. Could you just explain what a novation is and a sub 2? I think they may know seller financing, but we know cash offer for sure. But just explain it a little bit for them.
So a novation essentially is you working with the homeowner to sell the property on the MLS, but you're not representing them. Okay. You know a realtor who's going to be able to get it done. So you're a connection between the two. It's like a hybrid of a wholesale and a MLS listing. You are just assigning it to the next person, but it's really based around getting the retail value, not the cash price. Right. Sub 2 means subject to existing financing. It's when you ask the owner of the property if you can make the payments due on their loan in their name. You don't assume the loan. You make payments in their name to their bank. Full disclosure, there are some legalities around these things. Not every single property is a candidate for every single option. Okay? So if you're going to explore some, advanced creative strategies, I suggest having a mentor next to you who knows the in and outs for sure, or hire a lawyer and make sure you're doing it right, because they are great ways to pivot, but know what you're doing. All right. Those are going to be the categories where you can mess up and get yourself in trouble. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Now listen, beyond types of offers I can make, there's other things I can do to help people. I can connect them to a realtor. I can educate them about the difference between retail and cash. I can put them on my follow-up and make sure I'm right there when they're actually ready. I can give them the hard truth that nobody's paying that price because they just bought the house 6 months ago, and I'm so sorry, but you're already upside down. So there's lots of different things we can do to help people.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about like these different solutions that you can help people, because what I find is that especially like newer people, they think, okay, I'm going into this house, I'm getting a deal. Why would I mention getting a realtor? I don't want them to go with a realtor, but you are truly serving the people that you are trying to help. And if you aren't the right solution, you need to offer them the right solution. And I got a news flash for everybody. The sellers aren't dumb. They know realtors exist. You can mention a realtor and they might say, "Oh, well, I thought about that already." Like sometimes I'll say, "Well, maybe you ought to rent this place out yourself." And they're like, "Be a landlord? I don't want to do that." So you really, when you're giving them these solutions, you're trying to find where they fit, what would be the best option for them. So like if you say, hey, maybe you should get a realtor, and they say, oh, man, I never thought about that, maybe I should get a realtor, maybe you should just pair them with one. But a lot of the times you're gonna find that they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be a landlord, I don't want to hold. Like you're gonna find out what they want and what they do want. You know what I mean? What they don't want and what they do want. So you're making some good points,
100%.
Jen. I don't want people to pass over that. They need to stop the podcast, rewind, listen to that again, so they know what options to give people when they are like talking to sellers. Because like everybody's always just thinking about themselves. Like, oh man, I gotta get a good deal. I got a good deal. But when you lead with trying to help people, that's when you really start bringing in the big bucks, because you are truly helping people.
You know, and Martine, it's interesting that you bring like all those different, because there are a couple, like those are basically all you as the salesperson being like, hey, go away, right? It's like it's a go for no play, right? No, don't work with
Right.
me. Go do that for yourself instead. Guys, we're all old enough to know that when you tell someone no, what do they do?
Oh no, I wanna. They're gonna go the opposite
Right?
way.
Exactly. Tell someone no, they can't have it. Now all they do is want it, right? No, don't have more cookies. I'm like, I'm about to eat all the cookies, right? So it's actually, it's not even something that we as great salespeople, we actually harness the power of that exact thing, right?
Mhm.
If I feel you on the fence, I'm gonna be like, nah, maybe I'm not. You should maybe hire a realtor, or maybe you should do this. And they'll be like, you absolutely end up finding out that the reason they didn't call a realtor is because they hate them, or they had a terrible experience last time, right? So it's the right thing to do to just be a solution provider and be wanting to help people in the way that's actually going to help them. Yes, absolutely. It's just the right thing to do. Guess what? It's also a sales technique that works. So
Mhm.
this is why my program is designed the way it is because it's all things I've learned over all these years, that there are ways to actually be doing the right thing, and it's helping you get more sales at the exact same time. And I feel the state is you can help people and make money.
Mhm. Yeah, I love the, I guess reverse psychology. People don't really like to be told what to do, and nobody wants to be sold, but people that you want it to seem as if, I mean, not even seem, but you want them to sell you. Like they are convincing you to buy their house, because they're not going to believe my idea, but they're going to believe their idea. So when you are given all these solutions and they're like, oh, no, I don't want to do that, you're not like telling them what to do. So I just feel like that's key. So Jen, I have another question for you. So let's say we have a delusional seller. They want 200K for their house, right? They want 200K for their house, and you're like, oh no, I can only make this work at 100. What would that conversation look like?
Like I said before, we're not serving people at our highest ability if we're not honest. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and figure out where they came up with the number. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, first and foremost, like,
Well,
why are we at 200? right?
Yeah, well, I looked on Zillow. It said my Zestimate is
Ah,
200.
Zillow. Right. Martine, let me explain to you that there's two very different ways to sell property. You have choices here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can go retail and get the realtor and all the headaches and all the buyers that back out and all the commissions and all the closing costs and all the this and all the that and all the this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're going to get a price that's, maybe around 200. I don't know yet because I haven't run all these numbers. So I can't tell you if that's obtainable, but I can tell you for sure that if you just want the highest price, you're going to have to go that direction, or you trade me time for money. I'm the other end of the spectrum. No inspections, no hassle, no buyers backing out, no real estate commission, no closing costs, none of that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Lower price. Okay. I can provide
Right.
you a bunch of things and I can get it done fast and right? We tell them all the things we can do. Martine, I'm going to need that price to actually work for both of us though, if I'm going to provide all
Mm-hmm.
that value to you. Okay.
Right.
So it's called the trade time for money lesson.
Mm.
And then I'm going to put it straight to them. Martine, does it sound like getting it done fast and working with me is what's going to actually help you here? Or do you have plenty of time to wait and you don't care about all of that and we need to just find you a real? That's it. Super simple, right?
Yeah, I just feel like people need to realize that as investors, what we're offering people is speed and convenience. And a lot of people get wrapped up on price and they're like, well, the person wanted this. That's great. A lot of people want a lot in life, but it has to work for both sides of the equation. It doesn't matter if I want 200 if you can't get it done at 200. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like you said, you want to give them that peace of mind, and you can give them the peace of mind when you lock it up at the price that works for you to get it done.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Jen, what are some game changers that really helped you become successful in investing? Like a lot of people that listen to this podcast, they're either newer or they're trying to get that momentum going with real estate investing. So, what are some things that you did or that were game changers for you that really helped you get to where you are today?
You know, I would say that for me personally, when you're in sales and real estate, you're going to feel this like there's going to be days and days that go by and you feel like I haven't knocked one down. I haven't, you almost are like slumping lower and lower, right? You're like, what I want everybody to realize is that there is only one thing you need to do in order to get a deal. Be consistent.
Mm,
That's all you actually have to do. Because if you just keep marketing and you just keep talking to people, you're going to hit the laydown. The laydown is the person who was always going to say yes no matter what. You just needed to be the one on the phone. So be the one that was on the phone when a laydown answers. Okay. Don't let your competitor be the one calling. Have it be you. Talk to people, make offers. You're going to hit one. All right. You just are. Broken clocks are right twice a day.
mm-hmm.
Same. Just keep doing it. You're going to run into it. Now, on the other side, don't waste a bunch of time sitting at your computer, designing a logo, or researching 20 new markets, or putting up your website. Time block your schedule, and profit comes first. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
Time block the education so you don't sit there for 4 hours instead of one. Time
Mm-hmm.
block the phone calls so you don't end up getting caught up in something and don't get to the phone calls. Time block the admin work. Time block, right? Time block it. Give it the appropriate amount of time, but profit comes first. That's talking to people and making
Mm.
offers.
I love
So,
it. What I hear is stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Your logo doesn't matter. Your website doesn't matter. Your business card doesn't matter. Spend your time doing the things that are going to make you stay in business. So you have to be on the phones, talking to the people, making the offers, getting to know folks. Do the things, revenue in first position, baby. That's what I heard. I
You know,
love it.
another way I think it really like hits home for people, guys, sales is the queen bee role of your business. The queen bee in a beehive has one job. She doesn't get food. She doesn't get water. She doesn't protect anybody. She does one thing. She makes bees. And she is the most important piece of an entire beehive because the hive knows that if you don't keep making bees, the whole hive dies. Other parts of that hive can suffer and the hive survives, but it all dies without the queen bee. Sales is the queen bee role of your business. Stop slacking on it. Okay? If you are not ever going to be the person on the phone, then find the person who needs to be on the phone. And if it's you or your salesperson that needs help knowing exactly how to say all of this, just find someone named Jen Wei. She might be able to help.
I love it. I love it. So I hear be consistent, focus on the things that matter, and if you want your consistency to pay off sooner rather than later, get a guide that's going to help you so you can close more deals. I love all this information that you shared with everybody today on sales, the Jen Way. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jen, for the people that are listening, if they want to stay in touch with you, what is the best way for them to, stay connected?
So I'm an old woman, which means I'm on Facebook, right? That's where all us older people, that was the first for us, right? The program's called Sales the Jen Way. I'm right there on Facebook. I think I'm one of 3 Jen Ways on Facebook, period. Find the girl who has some pictures with the cow. That's going to be me. The Facebook community is free. I'm dropping videos and advice, and we've got a free event every single week. So the Facebook group is absolutely the #1 place to be. Guys, I don't have a website where I'm going to encourage you to sit in front of it and watch things or fill out forms. If you think I can help you at all, you pick up the phone and you call me. All right. I'm not going to use a bunch of high pressure sales, right? That's not who I am. That's not what this is. So Sales the Jen Way on Facebook, and my phone number is right there. Text me, call me. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
I love it. I love it. If people want to stay in touch with you, Lori, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, and thank you, Jen, for joining us, because I love how intentional you are. So I know a lot of people are going to get good information from this. So thank you. But if anyone would like to get a hold of me, I'm on all the social media sites. I love talking real estate, deal making, lending, renting, flipping, Airbnbs, all the stuff. So if you want to connect, also my email will be in the notes, and hope to hear from you.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have 3 ways of connecting with me, depending on where you are in your journey. So my first way is going to be through my free Facebook group. It's called The Freedom Inc. I share all sorts of tips, tricks, so that you can buy your first rental property with no money down. If you're like, yeah, that sounds good, but I want a little more, I want to learn some of these no money down tricks, I have a treat for you in September. I think it's September 25th, 26th. I'm doing a virtual summit. It's called the Financial Freedom Blueprint. And I'm doing it with my friend Scott. And we are diving deep. We had one before. The people loved it. We gave them all sorts of strategies. This is not just one way to buy things no money down. This is a ton of ways. So I'm going to put the link to that in the show notes if you're interested in joining that. And then if you're like, man, I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines. I need a coach. I need someone to help me. I need hand holding. I need to get to that goal. I need accountability. I want to encourage you to book a strategy session with me. Let's talk. Let's see how I can help you and get you to your first rental property with no money down. Thank you, Jen, for being on the podcast today. It's been wonderful, Lori. Until next time, Do It Movement listeners. See ya.
Thank you for tuning into our show. If you need more hand-holding on your rental property investor journey, book a 15-minute strategy session with Martine. We can see if you're a fit for the Freedom Inc. fam, link in the show notes. Also be sure to join the free Freedom Inc. Facebook group, where each week Martine goes over a real-life rental property investor deal and shows you how the deal was found, how to get the money, and how to make it cash flow and much more. If you'd like to connect with Lori, be sure to email her at vitalizeproperties@live.com. Until next time, see ya.